Hey everybody, this is Mike from the Just Watch channel. I don't have a cool English accent and I don't say things like chuff to bits and I don't drink coffee, but I do like to talk watches. So thank you for joining us. If you are a first-time visitor to the channel, welcome. Please do hit that subscribe button and the bell notification button below if you like the content. If you are a returning visitor, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us once again. Today, speaking of info, we're going to talk about this wonderful little Rolex 116,000. This is the newest generation of Oyster Perpetual from Rolex in the 36mm size. A lot of you guys, or some of you guys might not know, but Rolex kind of redid the Oyster Perpetual line recently. They brought it to a whole new case dimension, not size really. It stays at the 36mm, but it definitely beefed up, just like they did with the Submariners. They beefed up the lugs, just gave you a lot more meat on the case, and it's definitely a big difference as far as wrist presence between this and, say, you know, the 1603 Datejust that I did the review on over the summer. If you want to see a review on that, go back a few episodes. I'll also tag this in the Rolex playlist so you guys can easily find that 1603 review I did. And this watch once again leads us to the question, you know, is a 36mm watch too small for your average person? I'm actually a little bit bigger than your average person. I'm 6'3", about 200 pounds, but I do have a pretty small wrist. I have just about a 7-inch wrist, actually, just a tiny fraction under 7-inch diameter on my wrist. So I think I can get away with wearing this 36mm without any problem. And honestly, now that I've had it on my wrist for a while, when I go back to a 40mm Submariner size, it looks a little big to me at first. So it's funny how your eye becomes accustomed to a size of a watch. And I know a lot of you guys, if you're, you know, you're Seiko guys and you haven't purchased or worn a 36mm watch, it's probably sounding way too small to you guys. I would say try it on and give yourself a little bit of time with it on the wrist before you make that judgment. If you're coming off like a 45mm Sumo or Turtle, it is going to look small to your eye at first until you become accustomed to it. So do bear that in mind. Anyways, enough blathering for now about watch diameter and case diameter. Lots of cool stuff going on with this Rolex 116,000. I think it's a really strong purchase in the Rolex line, and we will explain that when we go under the lights with this watch, and then we'll come back for a wrap up. All right, everybody, let's take this under the lights. Case on this watch is traditional Rolex Oyster case that they invented ages ago, with a monoblock center construction, screw down case back, screw down crown, giving it 100-meter water resistance. Great stuff from Rolex, time tested as can be expected. It is of course made of Rolex 904L Oyster steel stainless steel. It is supposedly more corrosion resistant. It takes a higher degree of polish and also supposed to be more scratch resistant than traditional 316 series stainless steel. I find it not to be any more scratch resistant than any other stainless steel watch I've ever owned. It definitely just as prone to all those little desk swirls and what have you. So do note that it's not going to hold up any better than any other stainless steel as far as that type of little nick and daily scuff that you just get from wear, but not something that I mind either. There's a nice look at the Rolex screw down crown with the coin edge, and of course the Rolex 5-point coronet embossed on the end there. And also you can see just the wonderful finish they do there with the mirror-like case polish and also the brushed finish on the top of the lugs. And you can really see that nice little bevel that delineates the brushed finish from the high polish. Also that domed bezel that has the high polish and the stepped up sapphire crystal with scratch resistant coating. And here you get a better look at the engraved reflector ring within the case there with the Rolex going around. This is something with the newer generation of Rolexes going back about 8 or 10 years or so. The crown on this watch is, as far as the mechanics go, what you would expect from Rolex. Just very simple and clean. Screw down, of course, and just very precise and accurate with that hack, of course, feature. You can see the second hand stops there. And then as far as setting the time goes, very easy to set because there is no date complication. It's just your very straightforward center hour, minutes, and second hands, and very accurate to set as well. There's no slop or play between the crown and also the minute hand as you're sweeping it around there, and just very smooth action as you come around. This watch also features a wonderful dial, that silver sunburst finish that changes color almost from a white to kind of a medium gray depending on how the light is hitting, and of course that great 369 Explorer style numbering there on the index markers. All of the index markers are of course made of the white gold material, as is the handset and the Rolex crown. You can also see the simple signing on this watch, which I like. It's not, a whole bunch of signing. There's no 4 lines. There's only 2 lines there at the 6 o'clock position with the superlative chronometer officially certified. And then of course the Rolex Oyster Perpetual there at the 12 just below the Rolex logo. The luminous material is the older blend Rolex Superluminova. That is the kind of a little bit more green color. I'll give you a quick look here at the lume material. Pop off these lights. And there you can see it. So I didn't charge this at all. This is just the light it has picked up from being underneath the studio lights as we've gone along here. The watch wasn't outside or exposed to sunlight at all today as well. My experience with it is that it does hold up pretty well overnight. You can go well into the night. It starts out very bright and then kind of fades off, but then it maintains that bit of a color for quite a long time throughout the night. There's a closer look at the traditional stick style handset from Rolex, just the hour, minute, and second hand. No lume on the second hand, just on the hour and minute hand. As you can see there, as we mentioned earlier, it is made out of white gold. Here's a nice closer look at the 6 o'clock marker, the 6 with the luminous material. You can see nice even application of the lume. And also you can see that second hand sweeping along there at 28,800 vibrations per hour. The second hand is actually powered by the Rolex Caliber 3130 automatic mechanical movement. This watch, actually this movement, features all of the bells and whistles that you want from Rolex. Full balance bridge, parachrome hairspring, giving it really just strong oscillation, so it's going to be not prone to being magnetized, and also going to give you good performance in a whole bunch of different temperatures and conditions. So good stuff there from Rolex as far as the movement goes, as we would expect. Very accurate too. The watch does, as we mentioned, have the superlative chronometer designation, which means it has to hold to +2, -2 seconds per 24 hours. It is fully tested, then cased up, then tested again at +2, -2. If it does not meet specifications of that chronometer rating, it does not leave the factory. So rest assured, if you're purchasing a brand new Rolex watch, you're going to get just a very accurate mechanical timepiece. There's a nice close-up on the bracelet finish, that wonderful brushed finish that they do, and also that nice solid end link that Rolex features there. Just a wonderful fit and finish throughout, and just really nice stuff. And I'm going to zoom out here, and we'll pick the watch up and give you a closer look at this bracelet. Traditional Rolex Oyster bracelet here, as we mentioned, solid end links, nice chamfering on the underside, as well as some scalloping to allow some circulation without catching any arm hairs. And of course the Rolex new style Oyster clasp with the logo engraved down in, and that really cool release system where the end of it, just the end of it, flips up. It's a little hard to catch with gloves on, but you can see there is how it kind of hinges there, and that's what pushes it away from the hook on the internal. Now this watch does feature a bead blasted inner clasp material instead of polished, which I actually don't mind in that it doesn't get all fingerprinted and smudged up, and also I don't feel that it shows just kind of the grime that you accumulate from everyday wear. You can see the laser engraved Rolex scroll there, and of course all of your typical signing, the Geneva Swiss made steel inox, and all of that good stuff, control numbers and all of that. Typical, there's no slop, no play, any of that stuff, just very secure closing, very easy to open, and it does not open on you unless something somehow catches underneath there and releases it. So very strong, very well engineered mechanism. And also, one other thing to mention with this bracelet and everything on the watch as far as the wearing surfaces goes, everything's just beautifully finished where it touches your skin, so it just feels really smooth and comfortable on the wrist. Really nice wrist balance as well. All right, so that's it for kind of your specifications. As we said, 3130 movement, 48-hour power reserve, 28,800 vibrations per hour, center hours, minute, second hands, white gold index markers and handset, and a combination of brushed and polished 904L Rolex Oyster steel throughout on the Oyster style bracelet with a slightly bigger lug size. I really like it. Let's do the outro here and we will finish this up. And we're back. In conclusion, I think you guys will know that I really like this watch a lot. I enjoy wearing it. I think that Rolex did a great job of just giving this a little bit more modern look and feel with the increase down around the lug area while keeping that 36mm case size. The flow from the bracelet to the case is really nice. And of course, you have just tons of Rolex DNA with this watch, where you have that original Oyster Perpetual, you know, the watch that Hillary wore that became the Explorer, coming full circle back to this model with the 369 Explorer type of dial in the Oyster Perpetual. Just lots of good stuff here. You're getting the 3130 automatic movement, which is one of their best movements. It's found in so many sports models, and just a really nice, easy to wear, very lightweight, and also just very comfortable on the wrist. A piece that I very much enjoy wearing and will enjoy keeping in the collection for years to come. So everybody, that is it for this episode. Thank you again for checking us out. You can check out our website, justwatch.watch. You can also check out our Instagram at justwatchchannel. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button below. Also remember to hit the bell notification so you get notified when we release a new episode. All right, everybody, thank you again for checking us out. We'll be back soon with a new episode.